those drones are Israeli drones. They're battle tested in the slaughtering of Palestinians, right? So it's same technologies, it's the same guilty people, the same guilty institutions. For the past 10 years, I've been dedicated to the movement for migrants' rights, not only at sea, preventing immediate death, right? But also mobilizing and organizing politically around migrants' rights and freedom of movement in Portugal, my home country. We patrol international waters in the central Mediterranean, which is the deadliest border in the world. Thousands of people die every year as a direct result of European border policy. This is where civil society stepped in, not only to render assistance immediately to the people who need them, but to also point the finger at the governments who are forcing, through policy and practice. They can't have visas, they can't board any flights, and so they're forced most of the times to sell everything that they have for a place in these flimsy rubber boats and try their luck in the Mediterranean. And this is how Civil Sea Rescue comes to be, right? As a political project that aims to criticize this and to, give space to a conversation about freedom of movement. The massacre that we've seen over the last couple of years in Gaza is of the same scale of the massacre that we've seen over the last decade in the Mediterranean Sea. We've seen tens of thousands of people being killed by policy and political practice of, to a large extent, European governments, right? Enabling Israel to commit this genocide, not only materially but also politically, right? The guilty people between these two massacres are much the same. The same technology is being used, like the drones that Frontex uses to spot the rubber boats and then signal their presence to the Libyan Coast Guard that then picks them up and brings them to those torture camps where they're enslaved and all that. Those drones are Israeli drones. They're battle tested in the slaughtering of Palestinians, right? So it's same technologies, it's the same guilty people, the same guilty institutions, and then the way it proceeds is much the same as well. It proceeds through dehumanization. Civil sea rescuers in the Mediterranean rescue about 4 or 5% of the people who actually reach the shore. The humanitarian aid that we're carrying on these ships is good for, it's a drop in an ocean of the needs of Palestinians, right? But these movements are enormous, right? And they gather thousands upon thousands of people all across the world, right? Both of them. This points to the fact that these missions are not humanitarian with a political interpretation. These are political projects with a humanitarian side to them. The idea of civil sea rescue is not to rescue as many people as possible so that those particular people don't die. It's to create a movement so big that the next people won't have to put themselves in a situation in which they will die, Same thing with Gaza. We don't want to be able to give humanitarian aid to Palestinians. We want them to not need it.